Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of
WEEZCAST
Plus. I'm your host, Aiden Morden, with co-host
Philip Chassis
and co-host
Stephen Primar
and special guest
Natty.
Welcome to the cast.
You're part of the cast now.
Fantastic.
We have just listened to Alone, the home recordings of a Rivers Cuomo, which was released in, I believe, 2008, and it spans from 1992 to 2007, so it predates Weezer, and then some of it's overlapping. It's demos, it's early stages of songs. There's a lot of tracks on it, so we're going to hop right in with O.
Ooh.
Or Ooh.
There's two O's, so it's ooh.
I guess that makes sense.
Does he say ooh in the song?
Yeah.
Like,
I think so.
He's saying ooh, not oh.
Also, have you ever listened to a Weezer album straight through?
No.
You still haven't, because it's technically
Well,
not a Weezer album. So this does not give a good idea of Weezer's usual albums, because it's very different for the most part. Some of it's very Weezery. Some of it's really not at all like anything we've ever heard from Weezer. So, what did you think of the first track? Ooh.
Oh no, am I going first for
You don't have to.
Alright. I don't know how what you guys are expecting.
Okay, we'll go from me over to start off to get you eased in. So, Ooh, incredible, to be honest. It's reminiscent of an old movie about orphans who are all dirty and live in the streets. I just pictured it. That's what I pictured when I was listening to it.
Wow.
It had this like almost sad undertone, and it was very like emotional. It reminded me of like the Newsies, the Newsies, but really depressing, or Oliver Twist, or something of the sort.
Wow.
Caleb?
So, let's just say first thoughts was the Gollum song from Lord of the Rings. In the end credits. It sounded like that. It changed a little bit, but that's what my first thought was. And
Okay.
it's just ooze, so I don't really have anything to comment.
No super.
Specifically dissecting each ooh.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair, actually. Steven?
I also thought Lord of the Rings, not just because you said it, but when you said it, I agreed. Except I was thinking of at the end of the Fellowship of the Ring.
that's what I was thinking.
Not the credits though, not Gollum's song. That's at the end of Two Towers.
Yeah.
And when Boromir dies and it plays the ooh.
You should make an edit of the movie that has that, and the only difference is it has this track in there instead.
It's so it sounds good. It's not nearly as good as Lord of the Rings music, obviously, but it sounds pretty good. He's just going ooh.
Comparing to some of the other stuff on here.
Yeah, compared to some of the other stuff, which we'll get to. It's not bad.
So I thought the lyrics were very touching. Beautiful. I'm joking. Anyways, I thought the harmonization was great. It sounded like an enchanted forest. It was giving me more of like a Game of Thrones type though. So, yeah.
Giving Game of Thrones.
Yes.
We'll have to make an edit of Game of Thrones too that has that the entire time.
The entire
The entire
Right.
time.
Plays on the soundtrack.
that song plays.
With this 47-second clip.
Steven, I'd like to hear your thoughts first for The World We Love So Much.
I'm really glad that I'm going first, actually, because I kind of wrote a play-by-play as I was listening to it, of how I was feeling at the moment.
That's really good.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote was so creepy and weird, because I don't know how else to describe it. The way that he's singing just sounded so off-putting and did not sound good. And then
He's out of line, but he's right.
I wrote less than a minute in, and I can't believe I have to sit through 3.5 minutes of this. That's how I was feeling at less than a minute in. And then at about 2 minutes in, I wrote, it's so utterly ridiculously bad that I'm actually starting to enjoy it because of how funny it is. And then I just kind of enjoyed it more and more as it went through, because I couldn't stop laughing inwardly at how awful it sounds,
and outwardly too. I heard some chuckles.
I was laughing outwardly a little bit. I couldn't keep it all in. And then I wrote "Boom Baby Kaboom" because he says it at one point. It made me laugh. I wrote, I've never had such conflicting feelings about a song before, which I've definitely felt conflicting feelings about songs before, but not this much, because it's so awful and yet I enjoyed it. So last thing I wrote, he literally sounds like he's singing while dying a horrific death.
wasn't expecting that reaction, but that's okay. Maddie, what'd you think?
So I thought there were decent lyrics. I thought it was very poorly executed. That's just my opinion. So I said immediate no to the singing and the shushing sound. It sounds like cursive singing. Like, have you guys ever heard singing? Like, I'm not gonna do an example. It's like, it's too embarrassing to like.
It's like that.
Replicate.
Though?
It's like, you know how like some of the newer like indie women, when they sing, they're like, like they have cursive singing and sound like it's very annoying. But anyways, I thought it sounded like more of like an emo, like deep Nirvana-esque type of thing. So
Deep Nirvana.
yeah, like you know the band Nirvana?
Yeah.
So some of those things like territorial pissings and some other stuff. I know what it sounds like. They just have like this one like. They just have like this sound that this thing was like mimicking near the end.
Okay.
So when he like started like shouting at yeah.
Boom baby kaboom. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to take your word for that because I've never heard of territorial pissing.
Really? It's a good one.
I don't really listen to Nirvana.
That's
so.
fair. That is fair.
Interesting.
Kayla, what'd you think?
I don't have much, but I do have is that it's a disturbing intro. Sounds like some kind of gothic folk music.
Gothic folk music.
Rivers has invented a new genre.
And I think Rivers was high while making this song, honestly.
Probably.
Because it sounds like The Lion and the Witch.
Oh, yeah.
It's very
I forgot
weird.
about that.
Yeah, he used to have a troubled past. They're not that way anymore, but
Fair.
Early on.
And even,
Riches and fame work wonders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They heal
They
you.
really help you to clean up your life.
All right. Honestly, what I have written is, sorry, Rivers, I can't defend you this time. Your voice sounds bad.
Wow.
I felt secondhand embarrassment by this song, just because it's one of your first experiences.
Yeah.
Because it's so early on in the album. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what you're thinking about this, but he had the passion of a gospel singer at one point. Wrong genre, bud. Creepy vibe, weird lyrics. Honestly, I didn't like it that much, but I kind of liked it. The boom baby kaboom saved it for me. It saved it from being a complete waste of time. I actually accidentally wrote that I feel embarrassed by this song twice. I wrote it earlier on and later on, and I didn't even realize that. But I also actually, that one I was getting Nirvana vibes too. I don't know that song specifically, but I do know a decent amount of Nirvana songs.
I'm glad you get it.
And Nirvana's like a really big inspiration for Rivers. So
good to know.
So he probably was directly or indirectly almost ripping them off. Possibly even.
But not as good.
All right, Caleb, what do you think of Lemonade?
Pinkerton vibes, for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Not as good, though. That's all I had.
That's it?
Yeah.
That's
I
fine.
didn't write much for this album.
All right. Eeny, meeny, Maddie?
I thought it was very waltzy at first. Some weird lyrics. Otherwise, I'd say nothing. Not very obtuse enough to comment on. But, yeah.
That's fair as well. Steven?
I wrote, not good. Not so bad as the previous one, so it lacks the comedic value. The lyrics are over halfway through, and then he just goes, whoo, whoo, a whole bunch of times, and then screams.
That's that Pinkerton vibe.
So, yeah, it was not very enjoyable.
He said what we were all thinking. Who?
Well, here's the thing, actually. Are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't like it at the start. Like, it was okay, pretty generic, but then it picked up when it became instrumental and he started going, whoo, whoo. I really liked that. It had kind of a positive message about, like, you know, when life gives you lemons. It was kind of generic,
true.
though. I would love to hear a fully produced version of it. I think it would actually be a good song. Love the random noises and screams. Thankfully, it stopped before it went really south, because you could tell it was going to a super Pinkerton-y vibe where it was gonna just really go off the rails and be terrible.
Spiraling.
It was spiraling, and then it just stopped. Thank goodness.
Wait, what do you guys mean by Pinkerton? I
So
should have asked earlier.
That's their second
Sorry,
album.
we should have.
Okay.
Weezer's actual second album, not Rivers.
Okay.
Yeah, Pinkerton is their second album.
Gotcha.
He regretted releasing it for the longest time, but then it became like a favorite. So it's like, it sounds very bad.
Okay.
it was my least favorite Weezer album forever until I listened to it when I was extremely severely depressed, and then ever since then I love it.
Okay.
You just have to be at a really low point when you listen to it, and I mean some of the songs are just great anyway you slice it, but a lot of it's pretty bad.
That is fair.
It's kind of like a cult classic.
Okay.
Like it's, like it's not good, but like a lot of people love it because it's, I don't know, unique.
Cuomo cult. That's what we should have called the podcast, not WEEZCAST. Cuomo cult.
It's too late now.
Oh well, we could call this episode Cuomo cult. I don't know. Anyway,
I guess.
the next song is The Bomb. Just the title, not its contents. Although, not gonna lie, I didn't hate it. It kind of gave me Rage Against the Machine vibes. And he was saying something about Hitler and different stuff. I like, honestly, I was reading through, but it was so fast. And it came and went so fast. But I kind of liked it. My favorite line was still dropping more than a pigeon. That part was pretty good. It's a really wild song. I think that I'd love to hear a whole album of it, just to see how it sounds, not to show people. Caleb?
Sounds like a bomb to my ears. Rivers was definitely high while making this. Speeding up a song does not sound good at all, especially when it's at that tempo. That's all I have.
Steven?
I think this was his attempt at a rap song.
Really?
Wow.
Because I thought that for another song.
Really?
Yeah.
I literally wrote, what? I was really confused at this song because it was, similar to the first song, it was like so bad and like it made me laugh, but at the same time it was going by too fast for me to really take it in. So again, really bad, but I still enjoyed it quite a bit and I want to hear it again, weirdly enough.
Cool.
That's fair. So I said I loved it. I thought it was very angsty. And it sounded like, I don't know, it was just like very pleasing to like just hear, like it's like a cosmic, it felt like very cosmic and celestial in a way. And I felt, you said that it was like Rage Against the Machine. I felt as if it was like Rage Against the Machine and Black Keys had like a child. And that would be like that. And the one thing I really liked about it was there was like this transition like into the riff. I'm like, that's like really good. But that was just my thoughts.
I missed it.
That's cool. I love that you love that. I was not expecting that.
Really? I thought it was good.
I wasn't expecting that either.
Me either.
That's like the biggest shock in WEEZCAST history.
It's like a bomb to my ears.
That's hilarious.
And we actually, in the next song, we ended up getting Weezered. I don't know if you noticed. Mm-hmm. But it's an early demo of Buddy Holly, which is kind of cool that it was included on here since it was released so much later than the Blue Album. Like, I don't know why he decided to include a demo of their most popular song. Mm-hmm. Maybe to get the listens up on the album. I don't know. I did notice it's slower. For a demo, it's not bad at all. I'd love to hear the song fully produced, to be honest. That's a joke. Because you can, because it's on the Blue Album. Anywho, I know you're laughing at home. The bass in the demo is also super chunky and aggressive, and I love it. That's all I have to say. Ooh-ee-oo. Caleb?
Okay, so I didn't know that this was a demo at first. I thought this was recorded after. Wow, Rivers was high. Just to make this for his album. So I'm just gonna...
He forgot that he already
I'm just gonna say what I had written down before I knew that.
Okay, that's good.
Alright? Tempo slowed down. Why? I don't know why this needs to be added to this. But, I mean, I'm scared if this is what this is for the 30th anniversary. So, yeah.
Alright. Steven?
I mean, it's Buddy Holly, so it's pretty good. Yeah. It's just a worse version of Buddy Holly, and it's obviously slower.
But you can't blame it if it's a demo. It's just...
Yeah, like, because it came out before the actual one. Like, it is the best song on the album so far. Easily. Because the other ones were, kind of awful, and this one's good. I did write... under this song that Rivers sounds like he has an awful throat disease for every song on this album.
Wow.
fair.
So far.
So far, yep.
Maddie?
I thought it was a classic, clearly. I thought it was like kind of poorly put together, but it felt like knitting a sweater with the different strings like coming together. Like, because it like because it's a demo, you can hear like, I feel like you can hear them like the different parts more clearly and such. Whereas like what would you call it, like the remastered or like the published,
Like the full mix of it?
Yeah, the one that we know, it's like all together, right? This one's like you can hear like the different parts of it, so I thought that was pretty neat.
Cool. Steven, you want to start us off with chess? Or actually, does anybody know how to play chess?
I did, but I
was
gave
in chess club.
Somebody who okay, you start chess then, and we'll work our way over here.
So I thought the lyrics were very ADHD coded, and I'm like, okay, very carefree. Time change, I'm like, what's going on? But either way, I thought it was like pretty meh, you know.
Pretty meh.
Checkmate.
I kind of liked the lyrics, how he's like talking about how confusing life is, but he uses examples that are really not that confusing, like traffic lights.
He might be dyslexic.
We're colorblind.
Maybe
Why are all the lights gray?
Maybe he's handicapped. I don't know. But I kind of found it funny. I wrote not the worst Weezer song, even though it's not even a Weezer song. And then it randomly goes like tropical style when he gets to where he goes la 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 la, and then that part sounded really good actually. The rest of it was like okay, and then it was just odd but like kind of good.
Caleb?
So this does not seem like a Weezer song at all, or I guess, yeah, whatever. But I did play chess for a while. I was into it, but I got beat a lot. So let's just say the first few lines are understandable.
I just wrote Beatles vibes. Fun song, but the bridge sucks. La 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 la.
Bro, that's the best part.
I think I didn't like it before the la la la's, and then when it got to the la la la's, it increased a little bit, but it was still pretty bad.
Wow.
But so far, even Buddy Holly, the great Buddy Holly, in my opinion, does not compare to the next song, Long Time Sunshine, the better version. This song is on Pinkerton, on the deluxe edition, but it has different lyrics and this crappy thing at the end where they do these harmonies that sound awful. But this version is amazing. It's a lot cleaner, better produced. Alternate lyrics. It's got saxophone in it, which is different. It's really sad, I find, but it's also kind of hopeful. Like, my favorite line, actually, in the song is the most depressing line. Well, actually, I like the thing he says about settling down and marrying a good woman and having a grand piano in the living room. Like, it's really, like, it's wishful. It's really nice. And then the line where he says, which is not in the Pinkerton version, sometimes I want to get in my car, close my eyes, and drive real fast. Keep going till I get someplace I can truly rest. I actually really like that line. So I think it's about feeling hopeless, and he's admitting he feels like he just wants to die. Like, he basically feels like there's no hope, and he just wants to give up, but he's still holding on to that little glimmer of hope that things are going to turn around. And I think it's beautiful, and I absolutely love this song. I'll take a volunteer for who's next.
I can't go after that. Like, what are you talking about?
I hate this song.
What?
I'm joking. I actually love this song too. I don't really remember what the Pinkerton version sounds like. Like, I remember how it goes, but I don't remember it enough to like tell the difference. So I can't say which one is better. But I do remember what you're saying, how they had awful harmonies at the end, so I'm going to agree this one's probably better. Yeah, and it's actually like the type of song where it works as a demo, where it's just him singing and playing piano, and it's not like, you know, really well polished and a whole band and put together, because it's a really like raw song. So it fits really well that it's like a raw production, that it's not polished and like well mixed. So it just sounds, I don't know, good the way that it is.
Maddie?
Yeah, no, I loved this song. I felt like an autumn road trip. Like, You said it was a saxophone that was in it?
I think so.
I totally thought it was like a squeaky violin. Like someone who just didn't know how to play violin was playing. That's the way what gave me. But anyways, the squeaky violin gives it a very bittersweet vibe to it. Like you're losing like a first love or something. And then it reminded me a bit like Arcade Fire. So, yeah.
Finally, something decent. I will say, Rivers has finally come up with something that's actually serious on this album, and the vocals don't sound as bad as some of the other songs.
Cool.
It's funny that you said finally something decent, because in my notes I said finally a good song.
Well, because all these are really out of order, I think, as far as when they were recorded and released. It's not like...
Bro, they should have got all the good ones up there and all the bad ones.
But then it would be thrown off, and then it would just be terrible. It's gotta...
They're gonna listen to the song separately.
But,
anyways.
Caleb, I think you should start off the next one, because I know how you feel about it.
I actually really like this one. It's
Which
catchy and fun.
What's it called?
Blast Off. Yeah. I just like it. It's short, but fun. Yeah.
Oh? I was expecting more.
You want more?
I guess it's not a long song, so that's fair.
Yeah, but I mean, it would be nice if it's a bit longer, but I'm okay with it.
Steven?
Well, the next one kind of is just a continuation, so...
That's right. The story continues. Wow.
First thing I noticed was that it actually sounds like a real Weezer song. Like, it started out and I'm like, oh, this sounds like Weezer. Like, not really any of the other ones on the album did so
Buddy
far.
Holly. Buddy Holly did.
Well, it's a Weezer song, but it didn't sound like their style.
Okay.
So this one actually sounded like Weezer style, so I thought it was cool. I wrote, if it was sung well, I think it would be good. Because he doesn't sing very many songs very well on this album. And then, who are Juan and Dondo?
I'll explain once it's my turn.
I didn't know there was actually an answer to that question, but
I have
I'm
much
looking
Weezer
forward to
knowledge.
So I said I liked it. It sounded like the song was imploding, and I liked the distorted voice thing that they had going on. And yeah.
Okay. This song is the father of El Scorcho and the great grandpappy of Beverly Hills.
What?
Because this song's technically unreleased, and Beverly Hills and El Scorcho are already very similar chord progressions, play styles. There's one part later on in Blast Off that literally is exactly the same as in El Scorcho. So this song's like an early version of both of those songs. I would say more so El Scorcho.
How did I miss that?
This song was supposed to be for an album that it is available on YouTube, but it's not like a released thing, called Songs from the Black Hole, which is mostly an abysmal nightmare mixed with parts of Pinkerton and some other really worse stuff. Maybe I'll learn to enjoy it one day. So those characters that you said the name of, actually, truth be told, I don't know who they are. I just know they're characters because it's a rock opera. It's like the album is a story. Rock opera that Rivers made.
Well, that knowledge that you said that you have is not there then.
Too.
So, well, I can at least explain that they're characters in a story, and that one of them called... everybody went for this one, right? I can segue?
Yep.
Okay. One of them called one of them a B word, and I think the one who got called the B word was Maria. This brings us to our next song. Who You Callin' B word?
B asterisk 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 asterisk.
Yeah. I want to be the first to say I'm so sorry if anybody listened to this song because of us, and I want to apologize to each of you for having to hear it.
Apology accepted.
Not just because of how bad it sounds, but also the kind of sus lyrics. It's kind of a weird one.
I'll save it.
Okay, we'll get to you. So I also wrote, he's defending Maria. It's such a sweet song. Because Maria got called that, and he wasn't happy about it. So in a way, it's kind of nice, but it sounds awful. And the thing about that other guy is kind of weird. I'm not going to go there. I don't know if anybody else is. Hopefully not. Caleb?
Interesting song. That's all I had.
Steven?
That's it?
Well, I wasn't reading the lyrics that well because I didn't have it.
Did you like it or not?
I dozed off. I wasn't paying attention.
Bro, it's like a continuation of the last song that you thought should go longer.
It kind of synced in, didn't it? Yeah. Okay,
it continues. What is it, my turn?
Yeah.
Okay. I wrote continuation of previous song, and who's Dondo? I really want to know because he's talking some smack about this guy, and I'm guessing that he's the one, who called Maria a B word, because he called him something too. So, like, I'm just listening to this and being like, what's going on? Who is this Dondo? Why is his name Dondo?
I don't know.
Mystery.
That I don't know. Maddie?
I only had like one, what do you call it? One sentence. This man is insecure.
That's fair.
Interesting.
Do I need to remind you of the last lyrics?
No,
that's fine.
I can remember.
Don't look it up.
I'm glad.
Also,
that's him telling you to.
Okay. Wanda, you're my only love.
Tell us more.
Well...
Could you elaborate?
I'm going to say something. I think that her family's normal, from the sounds of it. Her mom, you see, she drives a big rig, which I would assume is a transport truck. And the thing about his daddy, he's gay. That's what I picked up from this song. It's actually like a really nice love song for the most part, but I felt like that line about the families and his dad being gay. I have a question. Where did he come from?
Where did he go?
No. No. Even this song's better than that song, in my opinion. I hate Cotton Eye Joe. Fun fact, that's for free. But yeah, so I don't know. That was kind of odd, I guess. It's not accurate either. I think Wanda's a character in the rock opera. Like a bunch of these are from that. I'm not sure exactly which ones. I'm done with that. Maddie, you're next.
So it was a very incredibly heartbreaking song to me. Like, why'd he throw her away? I don't know. You don't know what you have until it's gone. I personally miss Wanda. I felt like she was my first love, honestly. I don't know who Wanda is, but anyways, I really dig the minor transition and like the whole harmonica, like bluesy feel to it. So, but I still miss Wanda. So
cool. Steven?
I found it interesting that you said in the last song that he's really insecure, and for this song you don't know why he threw her away. I think they're connected. I think that because of his insecurities, he has attachment issues, and he will tend to sabotage himself. Not currently, but back in these days, like when he wrote Pinkerton, he was obviously in a bad place, and would write things like, about how he fails in all his relationships. So, I do like this song, but not his singing. Like, if someone with a good voice sang the song, I think it'd be a really good song.
Old Western campfire vibes.
Wait, what? Is this the same song?
This is Wanda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I see what he means.
Old Western campfire song.
That's what it felt like to me. Rivers is getting a little high again while he was recording this, and it kind of sounds like Pinkerton mixed with make-believe in some ways, I find. But it's okay.
Dude, We're Finally Landing is the next song, which I believe is also from the rock opera.
That makes sense.
I want to be the first one to say this song sounds like Christmas Morning when Scrooge comes out after all his things with the ghosts of Christmas past and everything. When he comes out and he's like a brand new man, that's what this song sounded like to me. I want to make an edit of every version of A Christmas Carol and put this song into it when Scrooge walks out, and then he asks the kid what day it is, and he says it's Christmas. It's more Christmassy than their Christmas EP, but not more Christmassy than winter. Caleb?
Why? Not to your comment, but why to this song? Weezer's getting high again, for sure. That's all I put.
Well, he's actually getting low, because he's finally landing.
Very clever.
I know, right? I just came up with that. I wrote interesting, I guess. I kind of liked the idea of what he was trying to do with the harmonies with himself, but it didn't really work because he didn't do a good job of it. It didn't sound good.
I feel like just because you can sing doesn't mean you should sing this song. I was very relieved on finishing this song. Kind of gave me like David Bowie's, the one where he's singing about Major Tom and such. But yeah.
You probably weren't feeling so relieved when the next song came on. Super Friend, and he talked about kissing her toes. This song was weird and uncomfortable. Thank you, Rivers. The instrumental part towards the end gets pretty good, but it's not worth the wait. Rivers, you're a freak. I'm glad that you're, not such a freak anymore, at least to that extent. Happily married for a long time. Out. He does freak me out, some of this old stuff. Caleb, what'd you think?
Rivers is getting to nursery rhymes now. Pain, pain, go away. That's weird, but it's an okay song in general.
Maddie?
I felt like it had a catchy chorus, but overall I felt like it was like a cry for help. It was kind of weird.
Steven?
Very Pinkerton vibes. I feel like if this could easily be on Pinkerton, and it would be like one of the better songs on Pinkerton. Like, not that it's good, but I liked it. It was just really like, I don't know, it was really interesting and strange, but it still sounded pretty good.
Why don't you start us off with Lover in the Snow as well?
Lover in the Snow is such a sad, slow song, and it's like, I really didn't like it. I wanted it to end because he just keeps singing about how his lover is cheating on him with his friend, and it's like, okay, just stop. I just want it to be over. Stop singing about
Go
this.
inside, bro.
Like,
Nobody's forcing you to play outside unless your mom is and you're that young, in which case, like,
it was just
that
really
would actually make
sad.
sense. I don't know.
Like, I just didn't enjoy it. And then the bridge sounded really awful, but that was the only part that sounded awful.
Maddie?
I got a lot of teen angst from it. But
if I've learned anything, that means you probably liked it.
No, no, I was not. I was not crazy about this one. I thought it was kind of catchy, but I kind of like. I'm like, man, you gotta get over her. Like, if she's sneaking around with your friend, like, she's not that into you. Like, you gotta get over it eventually. You can't like keep exposing yourself to that,
Caleb?
Comparing to all the songs, most of the songs in this album, I actually didn't mind this one at all. It was basic, but it was pretty good for most of it, except the tempo change in the bridge was a bit unsettling. So.
Unsettling.
I have catchy song, but not a fan of the lyrics. Musically, I really, really like it.
That's part of it, yeah.
Like, it's actually really, really good musically, in my opinion. It certainly sounds like a Weezer song. The harmonies are really nice in it. And I really don't remember this song. I don't know why I didn't put it on any of my playlists, because I actually quite like it. Other than the lyrics are kind of odd, which actually, with talking about how I said, just go inside, nobody's forcing you to be outside, unless your mom is, maybe the song is from the perspective of a child, and his so-called girlfriend is making a snowman with some other kid. Because,
That would actually make a lot of sense.
Because really, like, what's going on in the snow that's so heinous? That they're outside in public in the snow.
He kissed her hand twice.
Kids can be little rascals.
That's pretty serious, yo.
So
what is it that he does?
It's just a theory. A Weezer theory. Thank you.
And just kidding.
Don't cut yet.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
Wow. Great job.
Next song. Maddie, what did you think?
So I liked it. It gave me like the music. It reminded me of like Island in the Sun. I don't know why, but I'm like, it's just all over the place. Anyways, I loved it only because it's like literally how it feels like after having like a good first date. Like, you're coming undone in like a good way. You know what I mean? But yeah.
I think you're our first guest to reference a Weezer song outside of the album that we're doing?
Really?
Actually,
I think so.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That was like...
Okay, maybe
Well,
Buddy
you're
Holly
an
for another
expert.
guess, but that's it.
Is Island in the Sun not a known one?
No, it is.
It is,
like,
but nobody references.
people usually don't, like, they'll know the songs,
Yeah.
Weezer's popular songs, but they don't know that they know them.
Okay, that's fair.
They're
Well,
like,
I'm just saying.
that's a Weezer song. Okay.
It was very Island in the Sun-esque type thing, so.
Cool.
I'm just taking a moment to appreciate that.
Thank you for appreciating that.
Steven?
Me?
Yeah.
Awesome. I like the sweater song reference.
Undone.
Yeah. Because the song is called Undone, the sweater song. And then he sings about being undone. This is another one that sounds like a Weezer song, which is a good thing, in case you're wondering, in this context. Because the ones that don't sound like a Weezer song generally sound worse. This is definitely one of the more well done songs on the album, and I liked it.
Caleb?
I have one word for it. It's okay. That's 2 words, but it feels like you said. It's kind of like the sweater song, especially with the Undone. If this was supposed to be CEO, but they changed in the middle to be something else, I would not like that song.
Okay.
CEO.
I have the most Caleb response to this song. It's fine. I don't hate it. And then also I realized later on after I wrote that, and I'm going to blow your mind, Steven, I do sincerely believe 87% that this song is a predecessor, a very, very, very early version of your favorite Weezer song, if I'm not mistaken, Go Away. Listen to it again and listen for the guitar elements of Go Away and the harmony and the rhythm, or the melody and the rhythm.
I can see that.
I'm gonna have to listen to it
I'm
again.
almost certain. So I actually started enjoying the song more as it went on. I still don't hate it, and it's still fine. And that's all I have to say about that. Did anybody catch... There's another reference here. Did anybody catch the Mandalorian reference in the next song?
Oh, yeah, it's the title of the song.
Yeah. I had no idea the Rivers was a Mandalorian. Have you seen The Mandalorian?
No.
They say, this is the way. That's like their thing that they say. So, this song is groovy, romantic, and poorly executed. The whispering is pretty cool. Pretty cool, I guess. He tried something different. It's definitely better than most of the popular music in that genre. I think it's supposed to be like R&B. It kind of gives me Justin Timberlake vibes a little bit. It was very, very different. And I didn't hate it either. Caleb, did you hate it?
I didn't mind the song, but it did sound like Rivers was trying to be a black rapper, especially the way how the music sounded.
That's fair.
I don't know if you guys heard that.
A
But
rapper?
Yeah,
actually,
a
Drake
black
came
rapper.
to mind when I was listening to it.
I
so-
was thinking
Interesting.
50 cents or something like that.
50 cents?
50
But-
cents.
50 cents.
Yeah. So that's all I had, really.
Okay. Steven?
But this is the way.
I obviously wrote Mandalorian first. And then I had to listen to it for like a bit before I could figure out if I liked it or not, because it was really different. And it was just kind of like slow, and yeah, he was like whispering, and like it was a really different style than I've ever heard him do before. And he actually did a great job, and it's a good song. And it's kind of like creepy sounding if you think about it too much, or if you don't. But but it reminds me of like an 80s ballad, like those slow kind of like with a lot of synth and singing about like weird like feelings of love towards someone. And it's he loves someone who's like already with someone else, but he's like, that person's not good for you, and this is the way a man loves his lady. It's like, the way that he talks, like nobody talks like that, but they did in the 80s. So that's what it reminded me of.
Maddie?
My ears were bleeding through that song.
Wow.
I absolutely hated it.
Wow.
It sounded like, I'm like, what on earth was that intro? Like the synth, I feel like totally threw it off. I'm just like, it feels like an icky song. Like, absolutely no thanks. It reminded me of Phil Collins a little bit. But I hated it because I'm like, it sounds like a nice guy anthem type of thing. And I'm like, can't do this.
Nice guy anthem.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
I mean, you know what I mean, though. Like, not an actual nice guy. They're, like, manipulative. Like, I'm a nice guy, though. You know?
How come women don't like nice guys?
Exactly like that.
Maybe you're too nice.
Steven, what do you think of Little Diane?
Well...
What's so funny?
Nothing, just the way you said that.
I think she's an evil little child.
Really? Why would you get that idea?
Because Rivers said so. Quite aggressively. A lot. Well, he said it once, but then he continued to elaborate. I actually really liked this song. And really funny thing is that the beat and the music reminded me of So Happy Together by the Love and Spoonful. You and me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of, though. Interesting. Okay, that's good too.
Yeah, which is really funny because he's singing like this hateful song
Yeah.
about how much he like resents this person because she's not faithful to him, but he can't live without her. And it's just like, you know, totally opposite vibe of the song.
Yeah.
But sounds like really similar. And I want to make a mashup now.
That's fair.
Maddie?
I thought it was a fantastic song. I absolutely loved it. I'm like, the instrumental, I'm like getting a kind of British punk vibe from it. It feels like a very manic, toxic love. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Loved it otherwise.
Cool. Man, what's your name again?
I have nothing about this song.
Really?
Nothing?
Did you like it?
I had something, but I think I might be wrong about something.
Wait.
I don't remember it.
Well, what did you write, or what was the thing you were thinking?
I just put little child, Diane, Rivers. You're just proving my theory right. That's but I think I was getting off track a bit.
Yeah, he hates her.
That's why.
Right? He does hate her. We can all agree that was the vibe.
Yeah, she's not actually a child.
Yeah,
he's just calling
that's
her.
what I
She
figured.
acts like one.
That's what I
Yeah.
figured.
She's like a little brat.
We have some theories about Rivers.
Okay.
They're not very pleasant.
That's
No.
fair.
Because
That's fair.
some of the lyrics in his songs are like,
Creepy.
I'm getting those
Yeah.
vibes. Yeah.
yeah. So that's what he's referring to.
So this is the one I'm most excited to share my opinion about. I think probably this song totally reminds me, and I do not remember hearing this song before. I know I've heard it, but I didn't remember it. The song reminds me of Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of my absolute favorite movies. Like, this song sounds like it would be in that movie. It reminded me of the garbage truck song that they sang towards the beginning of the movie. It had that kind of a sound, and then by the end of it too, it really gave me White Stripes vibes.
Actually, I feel like I kind of...
I thought it was really, really good. I liked it a lot. The next track, I Wish You Had an Axe Guitar. I don't know who he's talking to, but I think it's just like from a home
That's
recording.
not a song.
It's not a song.
No, it's not a song. Does anybody have anything to say about it?
I thought it was a great conversation.
I feel like that axe should be stabbed at him.
Because he's just
It
referencing...
was very, what do you call it? When you get into something, like very in depth, you know? It's wonderful.
He likes Kiss a lot. So he wanted to be like them.
They were talking about
That's
Kiss.
fair.
So, with that being said, we have one song left. Who would like to go first?
I can.
Go for
He
it.
was made for this.
I
Wow.
was not. I was made for you.
Slick.
Am I wrong to say the music for the beginning and the chorus is the same as Long Time Sunshine?
Yeah, you're wrong.
Because it sounds the same to me. I think you need to listen to it again because I think I'm right. Why are you shaking your head at me?
Because you're wrong. That's probably
It's
your worst opinion
literally
so
the
far
same
tonight.
music.
It's not. Anyway,
Yes.
continue.
Anyways,
So sorry.
the song is overall pretty mid.
Really?
Yes. I enjoyed the chorus and the music, but the verses were like, meh.
I think I might hate you.
The way I hate you. Can I go for this one?
You can, if Steven's done absolutely disrespecting the best song on this album.
That's what I was gonna say. I think this is the best song on the album. I really love this song. It's way better and composed, better quality than anything else on this album. Vocals aren't that bad. Solo's fire, and it's a soft and nice song.
Maddie?
I thought it was, like, I gotta say it was my favorite song. Like, it was fantastic. Like, absolutely beautiful instrumentals. The lyrics were heartbreaking. But, yeah, the bridge was something else, but I loved it altogether. Fantastic piece of work.
This wasn't on... This is, like, just for this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'd say this would be good. This would be good for, like, Maladroit or something. I feel like that would go well with that.
I think it would be...
Or, like,
it's too good for Maladroit.
Make Believe, maybe?
No, he's right.
Whatever. Okay, I think this is a beautiful song. I don't understand what you mean by heartbreaking, though, because it seems like... It doesn't seem like a heartbreak song. It seems like...
It just feels heartbreaking.
It seems like a beautiful love song.
It feels melancholic.
And I looked into it. While we were listening to it, and I think that it said that he wrote this song in 2004, and he got married in 2007. And I guess he had known the woman that he ended up marrying. He apparently met her in 97. But anyway, I would say that this song is totally about his wife. It's not one of those like fluff love songs that he just wrote to have a love song on an album. It's like a sincere like love letter to his wife song. The music is beautiful. The lyrics are beautiful. The build in the I will love you so before the chorus, before it goes into there, is like, it builds it up so nicely and then just resonates and is amazing and beautiful. And it just seems sincere, and it even has the classic Weezer style solo where it starts out having the melody of the vocals. And it was beautiful and wonderful.
Just ripped off Long Time Sunshine.
It didn't. It's completely different.
100% did. Look it up.
Mm-mm.
I've listened to both songs hundreds of times. You know,
and you
nothing.
Still missed it.
Splish splash.
Amazing.
Your opinion is trash.
I'm leaving the show.
I can't let this one go. I don't want to let you go. That's another Weezer reference.
Not the best song on the album.
This guy gets it.
Wasn't bad, but wasn't.
That's one of the things is WEEZCAST would be really boring without Steven. Because there'd be no conflict. It would just be me and Caleb.
Just them being like, yeah,
for
right.
sure, man. And it's like Steven. No way. No.
I don't even mind it that much. But yeah. With that being said, we're gonna move on to our star rating and overall album thoughts, and we'll save our special guest for last. I think. Would you prefer to go last?
I'd prefer to go last, yes.
All right. You guys are probably gonna be shocked by my rating, to be honest. Everything on this album is better than Da Vinci. I wrote that, actually. I went ahead and wrote that before we got to Super Friend. And then I changed my mind. Most of the songs on this album are better than Da Vinci. It was on my mind fresh because we listened to it before we started. Overall, most of the songs on this album are either underwhelming or sound terrible. But it has some amazing songs too. Like I Was Made For You, Long Time Sunshine, and a couple others that were pretty good. Little Diane. So, honestly, the fact that there's such good songs on it doesn't make up for the fact that there's so many songs that just suck. So, I give this album an overall rating of 2.3 out of 5.
That's pretty high.
That's below Green.
Oh.
For those who have not been keeping track of the ratings. Green's better. Caleb?
Green is better.
Okay, so it definitely does have its flaws.
I love when we agree.
It definitely has its flaws. There are definitely a few decent ones that I really love, like Long Time Sunshine, Blast Off, I Was Made For You, I guess Lover in the Snow too. But honestly, it got a bit boring. So, I mean, if it was a little bit shorter and there's not as many like added 40-second stuff, it might be a bit more interesting. But my rating is 1.5.
Wow,
that's my lowest rating ever.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
I think at least.
I'm really excited to hear your rating.
3.
I've made some poor decisions for rating albums before for Weezer, but this is definitely one I can lock in.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going next.
Yeah.
Well, some of the songs I liked because they were good songs. Other ones, I liked them ironically because they're so bad, and I want to listen to them again. there weren't very many songs that I actually just did not want to hear. There were a couple, but I think they were shorter ones, so it was like, okay, it's fine. I ultimately ended up enjoying this album a lot and want to listen to it again. I give it a 4 out of 5.
That's absolutely insane.
It is.
Also,
Bro.
I think my parents might have just got home. Maddie, what's your opinion?
So I'll go really quickly. Overall, I thought it was a pretty decent album. I've heard a lot worse albums. Overall, it feels like I'm like deeply in love with a girl who will like only ever see me as like a friend, and it like kind of absolutely breaks my heart. Like I feel like I need therapy after it in a way. So with that being said, I'd give it like maybe a 2.7 out of 5.
He must have had a shot.
Thank you, everybody, for watching another episode of
WEEZCAST
Plus. Bye.